Hello, everyone. A very good morning and a very warm welcome to all the students and parents who've joined us for the virtual open house today. My name is Fatih Razdan, and I work as the Deputy Manager at the Office of Outreach at Ashoka University. Our speaker for today is Ms. Jeenal Shah, Assistant Director, Office of Outreach at Ashoka University. Welcome, Jeenal. Now, thank you for joining us for today's webinar. Before we get started, I would like to inform our audience that the deadline for the final round of Ashoka's undergraduate program is 29th of May, 2023. You do not have to wait for your 12th board marks or CUET scores to apply. You can get a confirmed offer of admission as well as financial aid even before your board results are announced. So without any further delay, I request Ms. Jeenal to please take over and address the audience. Another point, audience, kindly type your questions in the Q&A box on your Zoom screen, and we'll take them up after the presentation.
Thank you, Swati, for that introduction. Okay, let's begin. I'm just going to share my screen. Swati, if you could just give me a confirmation if you all can see my screen. I'm just going to put it on a slideshow.
Yes, I can see the screen and we can see the slideshow.
Perfect. Great. Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. I hope all of you are doing well on a Saturday afternoon. And all of you are gearing up for your admissions as well. The next hour that we're going to spend, I'm going to deep dive into Ashoka University, the program. We're going to look at the admission process and any other questions that you all have, we'll be very happy to answer. So with that, let's start giving a context of first the university. So we're one of the largest collective philanthropic initiatives in India. We pioneered liberal education in India. We've been established in 2014. We're located in Haryana, Sonipat, in the Rajiv Gandhi Educational City. We're a fully residential campus spread across 25 acres, expanding further as well. And we're going to talk about what the university has to offer as well. Coming to what we offer is a liberal education program. Now, I'm assuming that a couple of you all know what liberal education is, but just for context, dissecting this a little further, we're saying liberal education is the freedom to choose what you want to study. So you don't really have to stick around to one particular stream, but you get the freedom to choose across streams to create your own combination of courses that you may be interested in. And this is across natural sciences, social sciences, humanities, all of it. Pick and choose on how you want to create your own combination. Also, we're looking at interdisciplinary approach. Very important as we see that, the boundaries of different industries are collapsing, and it's very important to look at intersections of courses, of topics, of, I would say subjects, and hence the approach that we follow at Ashoka is an interdisciplinary approach. We're also looking at the breadth and depth of subjects. When I say that the traditional education system only takes you to the depth of subjects, but here we're focusing on both. As I go further in my slides, we'll also talk about what is this breadth that we're focusing on. And to me, the most important part is the skills that we're really focusing on. So we're focusing on critical thinking, problem solving, communication, social awareness. So irrespective of whatever courses you choose across different streams, could be computer science, could be biology, psychology, economics. What's very, very important for you to be able to thrive in the industry is the skills. So there's a lot of focus on skill building that happens at Ashoka when you're, at the next 3-4 years when you're on the campus. So this is the liberal education program at Ashoka. Going further a little. Okay, one second. My slides are a little stuck. Just hold it. Yeah, I might just stop share and share once again so that my slides move. Share. Okay.
Yeah, it's visible, Gina.
Yeah, but then it's not moving. Okay, now I think it is moving as well. Perfect. Okay, we're good here. Sorry for that glitch. Okay, coming back to what Ashoka makes unique. So, while there's a lot that we could talk about, but I will just summarize this in very quick 8 points. So, one, we're giving you the freedom to explore before you choose. So, when you come into the university, you come in undeclared. You get, leave 1.5 years, which is like 3 semesters to explore courses across different streams, some courses that you may not even have experienced at your school level. So you get a wide variety to explore. You're learning from the best. So we have faculties, which are renowned faculties across the globe. They've either taught or studied at, one of the top universities. They're all PhD scholars, and hence you're getting to sit in classrooms where the faculty is top notch. Also, we're looking beyond rote learning. So we're not just looking at mugging up the traditional education systems and the curriculums that you largely would have studied till now, focused a lot on syllabus and, bringing that out in your exams. But here you're going a lot beyond that. Your classroom learning is not just about a monologue where the faculty is talking and you just, making notes, but it's a lot about discussions. It's also about your ideas. It's about peer learning. So there's a lot of focus on all of that. Plus, there's world-class education, which is made affordable for all. And we're very proud of the fact that, we've been able to support students once they have offer from Ashoka. And I will talk a little more about this when I talk about the financial aid and the merit convened scholarship that we offer. So we're giving world-class education, but also making sure that everybody, gets it also in terms of affordability factor. We're focusing beyond grades. So we're not, giving admissions basis, just your grades in terms of what you scored into your 10th, 11th or 12th. But we're saying we're looking beyond all of that. And hence our admission process focuses on you as a whole and not just your grades. You also will have a vibrant and a diverse student body, which I think is very, very important because that largely becomes your network later on. When you graduate, you have students who've actually gone to, multiple cities, multiple countries, and that's the network that you carry with yourself. We have students from more than 100 cities on the campus, and they all bring in their experiences from, those different cities, the, different culture that they're coming in, and you get to be in those classrooms. India's best have contributed, as I mentioned, that we're one of the largest collective philanthropic initiatives. You can go up to the website and look at the list of our founders and donors. And if you look at them, they're coming from, diverse backgrounds. And hence we also are able to bring in, that to the Ashoka, I would say, pedagogy. Our launchpad to becoming a leader with the curriculum that is designed at Ashoka in terms of your foundation courses, in terms of your majors, minors, the skill building that happens. With whatever you choose as your major minors, you are, at a point where you will be able to lead different industries, different roles that you wish to take on. So it's almost like becoming a launchpad to becoming leaders. And I'm not saying this just because I have to, but I have seen students and alums who graduated from Ashoka and, how they're doing so well for themselves in different leadership roles as well. So that's about Ashoka's uniqueness. Now, talking about the undergrad program and how do you really sign up for the program. So the undergrad program at Ashoka is a program after grade 12th. You can come from any curriculum, CBSE, ISC, Cambridge, IB, you're welcome with any subject combinations that you've taken. Now, the program is broken into foundation courses, major, minors, co-curriculars. Now, foundation courses are not stacked at the bottom or say the entry point of the course. It is, over your 3 years, 4 years at Ashoka, you can spread them, but they are mandatory programs. So everybody who comes at Ashoka by default has to do the 9 foundation courses. How and when you choose which program, the flexibility is yours. Major and minor combination. Again, you come in undeclared, you declare your major at the end of your 3rd semester, not before that. Minor is an option that you get to pick. In case you want to pick a minor, you may choose a minor. You don't want to pick a minor, you may not choose a minor. Whatever you choose as your major becomes your graduating degree. So it's going to be a BA or a BSc. It's a UGC recognized degree that you get depending on your majors. Co-curriculars is again mandatory. You've got to pick in 2 co-curriculums, courses, and these are mandatory programs. Research is by default the DNA of Ashoka. So, you will land up doing research. Also, the 4th year at Ashoka offers a BA honors or a BSc honors with research. So essentially, it's a 4-year program with an exit point at 3 years. In case if you want to exit at 3 years, you're good to graduate, you'll be conferred your degree at 3 years. So that is largely the framework of Ashoka undergraduate program. Talking about the foundation courses now. So these are the 9 foundation courses that we offer. And as I mentioned, all 9 are mandatory. And which you take when, that is up to you to decide. So just like, picking on 1 or 2 of them, say mind and behavior. So mind and behavior is all about, whether you like it or not, you're going to deal with people all your life. And hence it's very, very important to, look at mind and behavior as a course in a curriculum. A lot of y'all may not even be exposed to anything close to psychology or mind and behavior, while you've been studying at your school level. Hence, it becomes important. Again, introduction to critical thinking. This is a course that largely you take in your first semester. Critical thinking is the ability to look at a situation and, critically analyze it, ask the right set of questions, all of that. Very, very important aspect. And, it's a way of thinking. And Ashoka kind of inculcates this into students right from, the base, and hence we say the foundation courses. Also, mathematical thinking is not just about math, but it's about the analytical thinking skills that are required, irrespective of whatever streams, careers that you're choosing. So these are 9 courses that is mandatory. On the face of it, I've had some students come and tell me that, why are these mandatory? But believe me, when they're graduating, they're like, no, foundation courses changed my outlook to a lot of things. I enjoyed those courses, all of that. So yes, that's about the foundation courses at Ashoka. Now coming to the major, minor, and the co-curricular courses. It's a long list. There are 200 plus combinations that can come up with this list. The first column is about your majors. So you've got to pick up 1 major from this column. Also, there's an interdisciplinary major. Largely, we're looking at 2 courses which intertwine into each other, and that creates an interdisciplinary major. So as a student, you've got to pick up 1 major or 1 interdisciplinary major, any one from the first column or from the second column. There's a huge list out there. I'm not going to read out all of them, but just giving, pausing in here so that you all can just go through this list, Then comes the minor. Now, minor, as I said, and I'm repeating myself, it's not mandatory. You may pick a minor, you may not pick a minor. It's up to you. You can pick more than 1 minor, which means I can pick up 2 minors as well. The flexibility with minors is everything that's listed in the 3rd column remains as minor, but everything that's listed in the 1st column, which is the majors column, which is biology, chemistry, computer science, eco, English, history, so on, any of those can also be picked in as your minors. Just to make this a little more clear, say I can take up computer science as my major, which is from the 1st column, and I can pick up entrepreneurship, which is from the 3rd column, which is a minor. I can pick that as my minor. If I wish to combine this with mathematics, I can take that also as my second minor, which I again picked it from the 1st column. So that's a combination that I just created right now. I'm doing computer science major, entrepreneurship minor with mathematics as my second minor. Similarly, you can do a bio major, psych minor, and I was always interested in media studies as well. So I pick up media studies as my 1 more minor, additional second minor. So it's up to you to create these combinations. Reiterating myself, you don't choose this when you come into the university only at the end of your 3rd semester. You declare these combinations. So you get enough time to deep dive into these courses and then choose what you really want to. And you given the complete flexibility around this. Co-curricular courses, the list is given right out here. You have to pick up 2 courses. Again, these are mandatory. Now, some prerequisites if you have to pick up a particular major, minor. So if you were to pick up physics as your major, then of course you need to have taken physics in your 11th and 12th. If you drop physics, you can't do physics as your major. Similarly, for math, if you've not, if you've dropped math in your 11th, 12th, then you can't do mathematics major. Whereas for eco, physics, and computer science, in case if you're a non-math student, you've not taken math in your 11th and 12th, you can still go ahead and pursue this as your major. The only precondition here is that you've got to complete a course in mathematical thinking foundation course and a calculus course in the first semester, and a minimum, a B grade has to be obtained. And but you give an entry into the university. So you're open to sign up for a course in computer science, economics, or physics without a math aspect. Yeah. So that's about the major, minor, and the co-curricular courses at Ashoka, and this is how you create your own combinations. About the fourth year at Ashoka. So the fourth year essentially allows you these multiple options. One, you can do an advanced major. So whatever I chose as my major, say I decided to do a chemistry major, I can take chemistry at an advanced level in my fourth year. You also can convert a minor into an equivalent major. So if I'd taken any particular course as a minor, say if I had taken economics as a minor, I can convert economics to a major level program in my fourth year. A large international universities offer this similar pattern as a dual degree program. Research and thesis is what you can get into. You can get into teaching assistantship, or you can completely pick up a new minor, something that you didn't explore, but you now are interested, and you can do that in your fourth year. The fourth year essentially gives you a research degree there. So these are your options. Again, the decision whether you are going to do the fourth year is something that you make eventually. When you come into the university, you don't have to declare that. But as a university, we envisioned a 4-year program, and we highly recommend that students kind of do the 4-year program. And largely, I've seen a lot of students, like 70-80%, do the fourth year also at Ashoka. Sciences at Ashoka. So while I had listed these programs in the major minor slide as well, but just bringing and highlighting that it's not a liberal arts program. There is a lot of sciences at Ashoka: physics, biology, chemistry, mathematics, computer science. These are all science-based programs which are offered as a major, minor, both as a combination. Interdisciplinary majors also that we offer, which is computer science with entrepreneurship, computer science with mathematics. Computer science with philosophy is a new interdisciplinary major that we've introduced very recently. So these are the sciences at Ashoka. Also, just to give an insight into why pursue sciences at Ashoka, what is so unique about it. One, it's a liberal education program, which means, and which is very rare in this country, where you get to combine biology with psychology, or say environmental sciences with physics and media studies, or a different combination. So it's a unique liberal education pedagogy that you will get to experience, and combine it with interdisciplinary courses that you can bring in play. Also, industry-oriented teaching and curriculum. So we're really updated about what's happening around, and we're not bringing in age-old practices and teaching you in the classroom, but it's an industry-oriented curriculum with a cutting-edge research. So research by default remains the DNA of Ashoka. So irrespective of whatever you're learning at Ashoka, research is something that you will do. Plus, globally acclaimed faculty. If you were to look up the faculty page, and if you look at their, in terms of, most of them have published papers, are already into research, have already done research. So you're already with the faculty who has so much depth around research. Plus, we're focusing on societal problems and real life problems. So you're actually solving things which really mattered on the day-to-day. That's what the focus is going to be. This is a science park, which is a dedicated infrastructure that we're creating for science and research. This is in the making. So we have an expansion plan, which I'll soon share, and this is part of that expansion plan. We also are building in 2 marquee schools, and this is a huge investment and an initiative that Ashoka is focusing on, which is the Trivedi School of Biosciences, where we're going to focus on this. Includes the Department of Biology, and this is additionally setting up high quality research in Center for Research Biology, Center for Inflammation Biology, Center for Synthetic Biology. So there's going to be a lot of focus. This is also a building which is in the making. There's on the right, what you see is an Ashoka Innovation Center. focus in computer science and bioscience related innovations, opportunities for companies to fund undergraduate and graduate research programs. So while you're actually at college, you will be involved into real-time research, which is funded by the industry. So that's the focus of the Ashoka Innovation Center. Again, a huge investment and a focus that the university is bringing on this side as well. Here's our expansion plan. So, in another 5 years, we're looking at expanding ourselves in terms of 120 acres of campus. Right now, we are a 25-acre campus, another 25 acres, which is in the making, which we've looked at, and there's additional plans to expand the campus. So we'll increase our intake as well from 2,600 students to 5,000 students, with focus on schools of biosciences, schools of advanced computing, a science park, which is going to be completely dedicated, space. So that's about the Ashoka expansion plan. Talking about the faculty, we have 200 plus faculties, and these are faculties who stay on the campus with you. Here's just an indicative list of some of the eminent faculties that Ashoka has. You look at them, they're coming from top ranked universities with a lot of, experience. But the beauty of this is while they're in classrooms, they're really one among you. And this is what I've heard from the students. The way they create magic in classrooms, the way they bring in conversations, the way they let you, and nudge you to push your thoughts is something very beautiful about these, faculties on the campus. Plus, you can actually book in a faculty time, post your class hours also with them. They're very open, and, you can strike in conversations with them as well. Talking about the Ashoka's admission process. So, in my third or the fourth slide, I mentioned that we're looking beyond marks. So yes, we're really looking beyond marks, and hence it's a 4-stage process. The first stage begins with you starting your application, which is on the website, a free application. Once you start your application, as part of the application, there are a bunch of things that you've got to put in. One is your academic scores for 3 years, which is your 10th, 11th, and 12th. At this point, you may not have your 12th grade marks, which is absolutely okay. You can predict your grades. If your school gives you a predicted grade sheet, you can ask them to give in the predicted grades, or you can self-predict your grades as well. SAT and ACT scores are optional. In case if you have taken the SAT and the ACT and you have a score, we're happy to look at that score, put in that score into the application form, but don't specially go ahead and take it. Personal essays, as part of the application, we've given you the prompts and we want you to engage with those prompts and write essays only on those prompts. It's not a standard statement of purpose here, but it's about our effort to know you, and hence the word is personal out there, which means you have to personalize your essays. You should be the one who should be writing your essays. Don't hire any agency. Don't get somebody else to write your essays. So that's about your essays. Letter of recommendation, an optional field, but I personally always mention that, you should have somebody recommending you. Anybody who's known you in a professional capacity, but has a personal context of you, should be a good recommender for you. Again, could be somebody from your school, outside school. That's absolutely okay. As far as the person is not a family member, is good, qualifies as a recommender. Non-academic engagement. We're keen to know that what outside school, what outside, your academics have you been involved into. There is no benchmark on what qualifies as a non-academic engagement. Anything that you've been deeply passionate about, you're interested in, you've been following it, is a non-academic engagement. So just go ahead and write that. You have to list 2 of them, put them on a priority, and we'll be happy to know that. So every application at Ashoka is read by the admission office. There is no AI, there is no algorithm that sorts the application, and hence every word of what you write matters. So curate your application, put in some efforts around your application. Once you submit your application, there's an Ashoka aptitude test, which is a mandatory test. Everybody's got to take the test, and an on-the-spot essay. The on-the-spot essay, again, the prompts are given to you. You get 2 prompts to choose from. You pick in one prompt and you write in an essay then and there. So that's about the first stage. Once you submit your application, you appear for your aptitude test and your on-the-spot essay. You're done there. Post that, we shortlist candidates. Shortlist candidates move to stage 2. which is an interview. I largely call it like an interaction because it's not really quizzing you, but it's an extension of knowing you. And hence it's an interaction with a 2-member panel. Once we've read your application, we're interested in you and we want to have a conversation with you. That's about your stage 2. Once the interview is done, then we move into the 3rd stage where we give you your admission decisions. You could be at any one of these: a confirmed, conditional, waitlisted, deferral, or a denial of admission. So once you hear this, comes a stage where you can actually apply for a scholarship or a financial aid at Ashoka. Not before this. So at this point, I tell students that don't self-eliminate yourself saying, oh, I don't want to apply to Ashoka. Maybe I may not be able to afford, or I don't think I may make it to the scholarship. Take your shot, go through the 3 stages. Once you have an offer, then you come to the stage where you can apply for a FinAid or a merit cum means scholarship. I will talk a little more in depth about this as well in terms of how you avail this. But we're very proud of the fact that, till date, no student has ever been denied education at Ashoka due to financial constraints. This is the admission timelines. We opened our application way back in October, but right now we're sitting in round 4, which is the last column right here. 29th May is your deadline to submit your application. Once you submitted your application, 11th June is where all of you all need to take the assessments and on-the-spot essay. If you skip the assessment and on-the-spot essay, by default, your application remains incomplete. Hence, the 2 points are important. One, your application submission, and then you taking the assessment and your on-the-spot essay. Post that, 15th July, where you'll hear your admission decisions, and you'll get some time to accept your offer as well. And then 4th August is the last day for admission. 21st August is where we welcome you on the campus. So this is the timelines that we are looking at. So academic year begins in August. Coming to the fees, financial aid, and the merit cum means scholarship at Ashoka. One, talking about the fees, our fees is 11 lakhs per annum, which includes the residential cost. As I've mentioned, we are a residential, campus. So everybody who signs up for the program by default is living on the campus. There's no option of, choosing your accommodation outside the campus. There's a need-based financial aid. When I say need-based, we're looking at the financials of your family and then deciding how much aid will be offered to this one particular student. The aid can range from a 25% to 100% in terms of everything being covered. So 48% of students who study on the Ashoka campus are, currently have been provided FinAid by the university, which is a large number. I've rarely seen, universities in India offering so much FinAid. 143 students who are on 100% financial aid, which means tuition, residential, meals, everything, all that cost is covered. 78 crores of scholarships offer, financial aid offered to students. We also have 6% students who are first generation college goers, and we're very proud of the fact that we've been able to support these students. Merit cum means scholarship for computer sciences and the sciences. So if you're a student who's looking at, or, largely currently at this point is interested in science-based, careers or majors, which is physics, biology, chemistry, mathematics, or computer science, then these are the programs that you're looking at. Then you can apply for a merit cum means scholarship at Ashoka. Again, this stage comes in after you've received an offer letter from Ashoka. By default, if you've written these programs as your options in terms of your intended majors, then you receive an invite for a merit cum means scholarship and you can apply. If you manage to get this, you get a 100% waiver on tuition and residential cost. Coming to the summers and semester abroad program at Ashoka. So this is a unique opportunity that we give to our students. While the program is a residential program at the Ashoka campus, we give this opportunity to our students where you can spend the summer or the entire semester abroad at a partner university campus. And this is an indicative list of a couple of universities that we are partnered with: Yale, King's College London, Columbia University, University of Pennsylvania, HEC Paris, LEC, which is London School of Economics, and many more to the list. This also gives you a global exposure. You also get credits in terms of whatever, your learning experience has been at the partner university's campus. It's accounted into your credits when you return back on the campus. Talking about the international partners, these are multiple universities: Yale, Berkeley, Duke University, HEC Paris, NUS from Singapore, University of Cambridge, and these are meaningful partnerships that the university, is holding with these international universities. Talking about the campus life. So if I were the student, I'm interested in this because believe me, as a student, I think there's a lot of memories that you carry with you about your campus life, about your time that you spent with your peers. And yes, at Ashoka, a lot of learning happens inside the classroom, but a lot happens outside as well. And it's important as a student for you to know what your campus life is going to be. So as I said, it's a fully residential campus. Fully furnished, air-conditioned men's and women's residential halls are there. It's on a twin sharing basis. There is, first aid and medical assistance available. Everything that you need is provided inside the campus, right from a stationery shop to a tuck shop to salon, gymnasium, swimming pool, coffee shops. There's a dhaba on the campus, which is very popular because it's open 24/7. Your mess, library, residential block, so your life is almost inside the campus, but yes, you're allowed to go outside the campus also if you wish to. There's a shuttle service from the campus that takes you to the closest metro station. And it's both the sides at the metro station and on the campus also, right from I think 6 in the morning till 10 or 11 at night. So you can commute to the closest metro station and then you can explore outside in case if you want to go out as well. Talking about the clubs and societies on the campus. So I've just been able to list 6 of them here, but there are 55 of them. You will definitely find something that interests you on the list. But in case if you don't find it, you're open to create your own club and a society. Also, you just need to bring in few like-minded students and start the club and society. But I think when I've looked at the list, there is everything largely that's covered, right from a fashion club to cycling, baking, Mad Batter, which is the baking club. There is a coin club, history club, theater, music. There is so much. And this is really the vibe of the campus post your lecture hours. And it just continues all throughout the year. Sports and fitness, something that we take very seriously on the campus. So there are multiple facilities that are provided. There are coaches on the campus, a swimming pool, a shooting range on the campus, basketball and badminton courts, which are there. Frisbee is like the unofficial official sport of Ashoka. So there is a lot. So if you are into sport, you'll be able to continue that. But if you've not really explored any sport, it's a good time for you to kind of get involved into sports, at the campus. Now, talking about support at Ashoka, so we do understand that you're going to be away from home, first time probably stepping away, and hence there's a lot of support system that is created on the campus. So one is the OLS, which is the Office of Learning and Support. So in case if you're facing any, disabilities or if you have any challenges, then there will be support which will be provided, which could range from, say, a learning disability to anything to do with, hearing impairment or any visual impairment, all of that. There is a support function at Ashoka, and we're very happy with the fact that we've been able to support a student with cerebral palsy on the campus. Also, we have the ACWB, which is a center which helps the students, and it's a free space for students to talk and everything that they want to share. Plus, it's kept confidential as well. So that's a support counseling group for the students. There's also a students affair, office which helps the students in terms of mental health and well-being, because you're not alone out there. Everybody has moved away from home and is dealing with the same situation. So, you may also find students that are willing to help each other and support each other as well. We also have CWC, which is the Center for Writing, Creative Writing. So if you need help with communication skills, if you need, there's a lot of writing that you're involved at Ashoka. You may be used to it, or maybe it may be new to you. So there is support which is given to you, and you will be handholded on that front also. So this is largely the structured support system at Ashoka. But beyond that, I've also seen that students, largely as a student community, as peers, as seniors, there is a lot of support that students provide to each other. Talking about the diversity at Ashoka, we've already spoken about the economic diversity. I like to focus on the geographical and cultural diversity. So For a class of 700 students, we have students from 16 countries, 109 cities, and 410 schools. And this is important because till now, I think and I assume that most of you all have, probably studied in one or two schools in your life, lived in one or two cities largely. And hence, this becomes an exposure level for you where you're able to interact with people who are coming from different geographies, different cultures, different experiences. You also might sometimes realize how privileged you are, where you were in a particular setup. All of that, you realize, you also become empathetic to people. And this is largely the network that you carry with yourself once you graduate, also very, very important. Talking about the gender diversity, 59% women, 40% men, and 1% other gender. Placements in higher education at Ashoka. So once you graduate from Ashoka, you may choose, to sign up with the placement cell, and the placement cell is going to help you look for opportunities in the industry. Here's some statistics right out here. So we have 336 students that have been placed, and these are the ones who apply to us, so not everybody wants a placement, and hence the entire number is not reflected here. 350 plus companies that come on the campus to hire. A median salary has been 10.6 lakhs per annum, and the highest package that has been offered is 37 lakhs offered to a student on the campus. Here are some, companies that have come and recruited our students. What I really want you to focus is the sector and the different industries that come and hire students. And this happens only at a liberal education campus. Right from, say, technology, consultancy, media, education, research, and it's up to you to decide which sector you want to apply to, which roles you want to apply to. And there's the option is entirely yours. So you look at the names. I don't want to really name drop here, but these are the top-notch, companies in their own fields. Coming to higher education at Ashoka, so of course students do opt to, further study after Ashoka also. So once you've done your undergrad program at Ashoka, a lot of them sign up for the postgraduate programs in India, internationally. Some of the universities like Oxford, Cornell, Columbia, Chicago, NUS, ISB, Brown, NYU, LSE, multiple universities. I'm very proud of the fact that these students make it to these universities because Ashoka's created that foundation in the 3-4 years that you're at Ashoka in terms of your foundation courses, your majors, your minors, the research that you do. You're well-rounded to be able to find a seat into these universities. The application deadline, I've spoken about this. So 29th May is your last chance to kind of apply to Ashoka in this academic year. If you've started your application, great, focus on all your sections and complete it and submit it before the 29th. If you haven't, I think it's just time that you need to start your application and submit it by the 29th. Yes, with this, I end my presentation, and I hope the audience has a few questions or more questions. Let's see whatever they have. Yeah, happy to answer.
Okay, thank you so much, Jinal. I think you did clarify a lot of questions already that must have also come up, and it was a very detailed presentation. There are quite a few questions, but what I'll do is I'll take up a few, so you can take a breather, and we'll get back to you with a few more questions. Okay, so starting off with, we have a question here which states, is the release of admissions offers rolling? By when can we expect the results for round 4? So the evaluation and the offer release is on rolling basis. So you can expect your result at a notification deadline that is mentioned on the website as well. Like for example, for round 4, this deadline is 15th of July. So anywhere after the 11th of June, which is your aptitude assessment, and before the 15th of July, you can expect your interview call and your interview happening as well. And if you're not shortlisted, if you've been shortlisted, if you've got acceptance or not, you will get that result before the 15th of July in round 4. Moving on, once the aptitude test is taken, when can we expect the invite for personal interview? So again, a very similar question. Right. So you can expect it anywhere after the 11th of June, for example, for your round 4 till the 15th of July. Or if you're talking about round 3, which is currently done and we're doing in the evaluation process, you will know your result before or on the 7th of June. Okay, let's take up an academic question. What should I take up for UG if I'm interested in both economics and psychology? So here is where Ashoka is really useful and interesting for you, because you have numerous of options and you don't need to be sure right now. So one is you can go ahead and do a major in economics and a minor in psychology, or vice versa, right? Or you can go ahead for the 4 years program, right? Do a major in economics and do a major in psychology as well, right? And the best part is you don't have to really be sure or make a decision right now. We only ask you for your preferences in the application. So in your preferences, you can always mention economics, psychology. And once you're on campus, you actually have 3 semesters to decide. Like Jeelan mentioned, you have to declare your major minor only at the end of 3rd semester. So you can come on campus, talk to faculty, talk to seniors, audit courses, and then make up your mind about which one do you want to go for. So you have that freedom, that opportunity, and it's okay if you are a little confused between 2 subjects. Let me take another question regarding academics. So if someone wants to study English, media studies, etc., and have got conditional admission and has to achieve the school predicted scores, will her math marks also be considered, or if she achieves the predicted scores in all subjects, she'll get the admission, as she'll not be studying mathematics? Okay, if I'm getting this right, so if she gets a conditional admission, they will have to look at, or we will have to wait for the board marks. And if the board marks are the same or more than the predicted, then yes, she will get admission. And that would include maths if she's taken math. If she's not taken math, then it doesn't matter. She doesn't need math for English and media studies. Taking another question. So can I try major for the first 3 semesters? For example, I'm confused between mathematics and computer science. Can I attend the classes for both and then decide after the 3rd semester? So like I mentioned a little earlier, yes, you can also audit courses, which means you don't register for those courses or you don't get credits, but you can sit in the classroom and get an understanding, and that'll help make your decision. And you need to declare your major at the end of 3rd semester. So yes, you can take up foundation courses. You can start to take up a few courses in a major that you like. You can talk to faculty, talk to seniors, and then make an informed decision. So yes, you can try out a little until the 3rd semester. All right, moving on. Can minor subjects like international relations be converted to major in the 4th year? Or does this only apply for those subjects which are pure majors like economics and were being previously pursued as minors? So no, international relations, which is basically a pure minor, cannot be converted as a major in the 4th year. You can, although, convert, like mentioned in the question itself, a pure major like economics or mathematics or computer science, which you took as a minor in the first 3 years, as an equivalent major. Currently, pure minors are not, we do not offer them as majors currently. Okay, so we can choose a minor and pursue it to make it equivalent major. So again, a very similar question. As I mentioned, you can choose a minor from the pure majors category, which also Jeanal mentioned, and then you can convert that in the 4th year, but a pure minor cannot be converted into an equivalent major in the 4th year. Okay, moving on. Is it a drawback if we don't have any standardized test scores? So no. Again, like Jeanal mentioned, they're not mandatory. We do give a section in the application form where you can mention your ACT, SAT, CUET scores, but it's not mandatory. In fact, the AAA, which is the Ashoka Aptitude Assessment, is mandatory for all, regardless of whether you've given standardized tests or not. So there's no drawback, but please make sure that you are attending the AAA, because if you do not attend the Ashoka Aptitude Assessment, your evaluation will not happen. Your application will be considered annulled. All right. Is the AAA held at exam centers? Are calculators allowed? Is there negative marking? Okay, so taking the first half, the AAA is not held at exam centers. You can take it at the comfort of your house with a working Wi-Fi connection and laptop. You don't need to travel anywhere. Are calculators allowed? As far as I am aware of, no, you're not allowed for physical calculators, and the team can correct me if I'm wrong. And is there negative marking? No, there is no negative marking for wrong answers. Okay, a similar question. Will the assessments and interview happen online or offline? Both of them will be happening online. You can take it from the comfort of your house. You just need a working Wi-Fi connection and a laptop. Let's take, okay, so this question or must have been taken already, but what is the average annual fee? Like Zunan mentioned, it's 11.08 lakhs per annum. But again, this fees does vary depending on your affordability criteria, right? Like how Jinal mentioned about the financial aid. So if you receive some percentage of financial aid, that fees will be different and it will change. It will be much lesser than what I just mentioned. Let's take a little bit on student life and then, I'll throw some out to Jinal. Are the hostels boys in the campus or outside the campus? All the hostels, whether it's the girls block or the boys wings, are on campus itself. And you have to stay on campus. It's a residential campus. You'll have to stay on campus for all the 3 or 4 years that you're at Ashoka. Are the first year students in a separate hostel from the seniors or are they together? So it's not necessary. The first year students do share, the rooms are shared by the same year students, but it's not necessary that, the one building only has first year and second building only has second year. It all depends on the number and the kind of rooms. Is there non-veg food served in the hostel dining halls? So yes, there are specific days where non-veg food is served. So you can, go ahead for non-veg as well in the dining hall. Okay, now let's go ahead and, if Jinal, you're there, we'll go ahead and take a few questions and I'll throw them out to you. So where can we find the sample papers for AAA? Can you please share the link? We found one paper on your website. However, it's different from TSA paper. Can you please throw light on AAA pattern and sample papers?
Sure. Okay. So AAA is the Ashoka aptitude test. Is based on the Cambridge thinking assessment skill. It's basic logic, English and math. I always advise students that it doesn't take any prior preparation or coaching to approach the AAA. It's an aptitude test. It's not an entrance exam. I think as students, you're used to giving entrance exams, and the difference between an entrance exam and an aptitude test is a mere reflection of your aptitude, something that you've developed over your years, and you just have to demonstrate your aptitudes. An entrance exam is something where everybody gets a ranking, right? So you could say get a rank of 200, 100, 25th, and somebody stands above and below each other. But with an aptitude test, that's not what it is. However, there's a sample paper on the website, and I think you've gone through that. The team can also put in the link to the aptitude test on the in the chat box as well. You can refer to that, but that's only like I would say an indicative sample paper for you to kind of know what you will be what you will attend on the day of the AAA. But largely don't panic around the aptitude test or try to do a rigorous preparation around that. You should be easily, comfortably able to take an aptitude test without prior preparation. Yeah.
Perfect. So there's another question which is regarding the LOR. So the student wants to know, could you explain a little bit again about the LOR details? Because they're confused regarding the school LOR and an outside LOR. So, you want to probably take that?
Sure. So what is an LOR? An LOR is a letter of recommendation. Basically, anybody who knows you is recommending you to a university saying, I know XYZ person and this is what I have known this person as, so if it's your sports coach, then maybe just wants to bring in some of your personality traits or how good you are in that sport, So the whole idea is that a recommendation letter, and, it could be a school recommendation letter, it could be outside recommendation letter. It's up to you to choose. Also, I've had, a couple of students ask me that if I'm choosing economics as my major, should I have my eco teacher write me a letter of recommendation? Not necessarily. If your eco teacher has a depth of you, knows you very well, you think will be able to bring in, some points that the admission officer should know, then yes. But if you think you have a very superficial relation with your eco teacher, she doesn't know you too much or he doesn't know you too much, then pick somebody else who knows you. And also, it's not that because you've declared or because you've shown interest into a particular area, you need somebody to vet you for that area. That's not what it is. A letter of recommendation can be into any direction. The whole idea is that your whole application is written by you. We're just seeing you from somebody else's lens, and that is the recommender's lens. So feel free to pick anybody, but of course, be very wise in terms of who you are choosing your recommender. The recommender should be able to kind of personalize your recommendation and not put in a very general standard recommendation. So that is very important. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay, so there's question on the metro station. So what is the nearest metro station and how far is it? And from the metro station, how far is the airport? So I'll just take it up quickly. So the nearest metro station to Ashoka is the Jahangirpura metro station in Delhi. And we do have a shuttle service that takes you directly from inside campus to this particular metro station. As for the second half, the metro station is approximately 45 minutes to 1 hour to the airport, Delhi airport. I hope that answers the question. Jinal, it's more of a request than a question, but could you share the first slide on the foundation courses, as I missed seeing that as I had trouble logging in?
Sure.
So
this entire webinar is going to be on the YouTube channel of Ashoka. You'll be able to log in into the Ashoka YouTube channel and go through the entire webinar. The slides will also be there. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Right. Now I'm going to throw this question to you. What is the total first year UG intake? What percentage of seats are admitted in the last round?
Okay. So every year, and this year particularly, we are, our intake is 700 students. We have 4 rounds, as we mentioned, we're done with 3 rounds. There's one last round that we are in. But we have equal number of seats for every round. So which means that you stand an equal chance to get admission. And just to clarify, so it doesn't mean that somebody who applied in round 1 had a better chance over you. We are looking at each application in their own context, not comparing applications. And, it's a holistic admission process. So as I said, we're not even going to look at just your grades, right? So you stand an equal chance, but there are no numbers specific for every round, but every round has equal number of seats is all I can say. And 700 is the intake. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. So I'll just take an academic question. I'll take that. What are the options for her, for the applicant after 12th with no prerequisite of math and science? So there are a number of subjects. In fact, the only prerequisite, there are only 2 which refer to math and physics, which is one is physics and the other is math. Other than that, the student can go for psychology, you can go for philosophy, anthropology, there's English, there's history, right? There are various others, philosophy, that you can go for without the prerequisite of math and science. Then I want to pursue entrepreneurship and data analytics BBA. Is it possible with Ashoka? Again, I'll just take up this question. So you can go ahead and pursue entrepreneurship. You can also do data analytics and CS, which is computer science. In fact, we have a very nice interdisciplinary major that sort of combines both your requests, which is computer science and entrepreneurship. But the degree that you would get is BSc, not BBA. That's the only difference, but the subject criteria meets. So I would suggest that maybe you can go through the department on the website and have a look at the kind of faculty, the kind of offerings, and get a better idea. And if it meets your matching, then I don't think that degree part of BBA or BSc should really make a difference. Okay, moving on to the next question. Does major in psychology require math or science where the student had dropped it after 8th grade? Again, I'll just quickly take it up. No, it doesn't require math or science. You can go ahead for a major or minor in psychology without math or science. In fact, without psychology also in your 11th and 12th. Okay, let me put in a question to you, Jinal. Is there a certain advantage for students as to which round of application they apply? In every round, are same numbers of offers rolled out? Please share some details on this. I think you already did, but you can just.
So one, I think I just spoke about it. Second, we're in the 4th round. There is no round after this. So this is what it is now. Having said that, in case, I don't know if you're an applicant who plans to apply probably next year or something, we always kind of urge you to apply in early rounds. Having said that, apply in a round that you're well prepared. Apply in a round that you think you'll be able to give your best shot. And for this year, this is your last chance. There is no other way. The number of seats, as I said, there are equal number of seats that we reserve for all rounds. We're not comparing one application to another application. So just be yourself, give your best shot into your application, curate your application, work towards your application. Ashoka application is a lengthy application and you need to approach each section and, work towards it. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so there's a question regarding financial aid. I'll just quickly take that up. The financial aid application process will take off only after conditional offer gets converted into a firm offer after the board marks, or does a student need to apply before only? No, so you'd only get the link, or the portal will only open up for the application for the financial aid if and when you get a firm confirmed offer. So you'd have to wait for the board marks and get a firm offer for you to apply for your financial aid part.
Just
Okay.
to add to this,
Yeah.
not everybody gets a conditional offer. A bunch of students also get confirmed offers. So if you have a confirmed offer, you can straight, go ahead, complete your admission process or apply for FinAid. Only under the condition that you've got a conditional offer, then we need to await your 12th board marks. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. So another question regarding the academics portion, maybe you'd like to take that. Do you mandate a minimum number of subjects to be taken in 11th and 12th for qualification? And I'll just add on, the second question is quite similar. So AS level allows 4 subjects and my child has taken maths, physics, chemistry, and English. Is it mandatory to have 5 subjects?
No, so there is no compulsion on the number of subjects that you take. As far as whatever your curriculum allows and the minimum that you've taken, you're good to go ahead and, take. And there is no compulsion around that. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay, how well does Ashoka recognize IB, the curriculum IB, I guess? Do you want to?
Sure. So yeah, we're open to any curriculum, national curriculum, state boards, IB, all of that. IB focuses a lot on research, and that is what even we focus a lot. So hence, I would say Ashoka is a natural extension of IB in terms of research, in terms of interdisciplinarity. Those are the commonalities that emerge between Ashoka and IB. Rest, we are, I would say, curriculum blind. We bring in students from all curriculums and we, start from scratch. So it's not that any student will have a separate advantage. But yes, maybe IB students research is something that they're already exposed to, and hence they find, an extension of that when they come to Ashoka. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So a few quick questions I'll take up. Can I give self-predicted scores if my school doesn't provide predicted scores? Yes, if your school does not provide school predicted scores, you can go ahead for self-predicted scores. How many letter of recommendations are needed? Only one. We don't require more than one. Taking another question, do you see any ragging on the campus? Honestly speaking, maybe you won't believe us say it, but a lot of our alumni or our current students are also an example, and we've spoken to many of them as well. So there's no ragging on campus. That's not something that you will see. The seniors are very friendly. They're very helpful rather, so you can approach them. They're very easy to approach as well. Okay, now let's take up another question. You apply in round 2 if you haven't got through in round 1. So I'll just quickly answer that. So although right now I'm sure they're asking for the next year because currently we're in round 4, but no, you cannot apply twice in the same year. You can only apply once in any of the rounds, whether it's 1, 2, 3, or 4. But if you've applied already in round 1 and gotten rejected, then you cannot reapply in round 2. You can reapply the next year. Okay, let's take up another question. For merit cum means scholarship for CS, a student needs to confirm CS from the beginning or just show interest. Do you want to take that?
So at this point, yes, of course, you come in undeclared, but yes, you have to show interest in CS. Only then you are open or you're given an option to apply for a merit cum means scholarship. And, further at the end of your 3rd semester, you officially declare that is your major there. Yeah.
Perfect. So it's a little bit of a long question regarding the summer abroad, semester abroad programs. Could you please elaborate a little further on the study abroad programs? I believe you already covered the kind of international partnerships, but they want to know that is the Ashoka fees carried onto the study abroad program or do the finances change? Okay, there's another question involved. Furthermore, are you in liberty to say how many study abroad seats there usually are? If yes, then how many?
Okay. So a lengthy answer to this question. So one, you have to understand this is a exchange program. So either it's a summer exchange or a semester exchange. So these are 2 separate things. So either the summer break that you get in Ashoka, you go for that only that particular break months, or you go for an entire semester. but it's an exchange program, which means it's not a twinning program, it's not a transfer program. You are still an Ashoka student and you will continue to remain an Ashoka student. A part of the learning, you've moved to another campus, whichever university that you're going to. You will bring in your learning experience and the credits, and those credits will be accounted into your Ashoka credits as well. That's one. As far as the fees is concerned, again, that's very unique to the universities that open up. When we say we have a collaboration, it's an academic partnership between the two universities, and there's an MOU in terms of, they say, okay, we'll bring in or we give opportunities to your students. But as far the cost is concerned, some universities may waive off the academic cost, but there'll still be a cost of your travel stay. Some may charge for it. Again, you can apply for FinAid if you want for that also. So that's also an option. So if you want to apply for FinAid, then you have to separately put in an application saying, I want to go to an X university for so-and-so summer semester, or for a semester, and so other charges, and I need, the financial committee will evaluate. You may get a FinAid and you may go at no cost. Some universities give accommodation within their campus, which means there's no accommodation cost there. So this is case by case basis. But Ashoka fees doesn't include this. So anything, if you're signing up for a summer abroad or a semester abroad, it's going to be an additional cost. What cost depends on which university at what time, all of that. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So I think we've taken up most of the questions. We'll just end it with one last question, looking at the time as well. So to get admissions, what percentage of emphasis is on grades versus extracurriculars and LOR? So, okay. I mean, yeah.
So it's a holistic admission process. We've been saying this all throughout, which means we will not give weightage to any one particular area. And it's in your best interest that we're not giving weightage to one particular area. See, I'm a student and I am great at academics, but my non-academics is flat, or vice versa. And if the university focuses only this area, then you might just eliminate yourself. And hence, we're saying we're in a holistic admission process. We're wanting to look at you as a whole, just bring in whatever your strengths, your areas that you focused on, your, and your passion areas, your essays are an extension of you as a person. And hence we're looking at everything. There is no one particular recipe saying, okay, if this is great, then you get into Ashoka. Just put in your best, be candid, be yourself, and the university is open for you. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you, Jinal. And I think we will, have to come to the end of today's session. But don't worry, if you have any additional queries, we do have our email ID as well as our number where you can call on, or you can send or drop an email, which I'll talk about as well. So thank you for joining us. We hope that this webinar was helpful in understanding Ashoka's undergraduate program. We would really appreciate if you could just take 1 minute of your time, to share your valuable feedback with us for today's session. The link to the feedback is provided in the chat box. Please note that the recording of the session, like Gina also mentioned, will be available on Ashoka's YouTube channel in case you'd like to share it with your friends or family, or if there's some section of the presentation that you missed out, you can go back and revisit the complete presentation. Now, students, we will have a webinar on Ashoka admissions and financial aid, which will be next week on the 12th of May at 6 p.m. Now, there you'll be able to clarify your doubts regarding the undergraduate program, the admissions and application process, as well as the financial aid at Ashoka. So the registration link for the same would be given in the chat box. So you can go ahead and please register for the same. Now, before we actually end today's session, I would once again like to inform our audience that the deadline for the final and fourth round of the undergraduate program starting this year, August 2023, is 29th of May 2023. I would highly recommend and encourage students to start early and have access to personalized mentorship from our academic counselors, and a confirmed offer of admission and financial aid even before many of your final board results are not announced. Now, if you have any further queries, even after today's session, you can feel free to write us at ugapply@ashoka.edu.in or contact us on the numbers given on the screen. So now this brings us to the end. I would also recommend that if you get the chance to go with your family, parents, for a campus tour, we do have campus tours every Monday and Friday. You just, the link would be given on the chat box for you to register for the same. You can also go on the website if you missed the link today and register for on-campus experience. It is very helpful. It's very useful. You will get most of your campus-related queries clarified if you go for this campus tour. So that brings us to the end. Thank you, everybody, for joining us and taking out time on a Saturday to attend this webinar. Hope you have a lovely weekend. Please take care and stay safe.
Good luck, everybody. Bye-bye.